Overthinkers, assemble! We come together here to fight against our own brains, and mine was working overtime on my first trip to Mexico. We rented a car from what looked like someone's cousin's garage, and next morning, flat tire. My brain instantly went, trip ruined. Money gone. Disaster unlocked. Spoiler, the reality was a lot simpler than that. So here's how that started. It was my very first holiday in Mexico, specifically in Tulum, and we did not have the budget for the real rental companies. You know, the ones everybody knows. So we had to settle for, a little bit more shady looking version, let's say it like that. And that one was slightly more interesting. You know, when you arrive at the airport and you rented a car and they pick you up with these labeled vans with a company logo on the side? Yeah, not so this one. It was an unmarked black Chevy Suburban. And it could have not been more shady looking. Nobody had company clothing, just normal private clothing, and they said like, yeah, we're here for the rental car, just hop inside. And we looked at each other, and I thought like, is this kind of like a Taken situation? Do I have to call Liam Neeson any second? It was really not a great first impression, to be honest. And then they drove us to like the more industrial complex of the city. I mean, so far so normal. But yeah, it looked more like somebody's garage than an actual office or company, to be honest. But we went with it. So I took 1 million pictures of every square centimeter of this car to document everything, to not get scammed in the end when they say like, hey, this damage was not there before. I have proof. So I did that. We filled out the paperwork, put the smaller deposit, and drove to Airbnb. And it finally felt like, okay, now the holiday is starting to relax. Everything was fine. Parked in front of our accommodation, had some dinner, enjoyed, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and bam, there was it. Flat tire on the fudging rental car. My first thought was, that's it. It's over. Holiday's over. I cannot afford this. What do I do now? Super shady rental company, and now we have a flat tire. My brain jumped into catastrophizing, a spiral of, I'm broke now. I cannot afford this. How do we even do that? We know nobody here. I don't have enough money to do that. Do I have to beg my parents-in-law now that I met for the first time for money? Will we get thrown in jail? Will I be hostage until I paid? Everything. My body started sweating. My heart was racing, and it felt like I'm looking from the outside on this situation, like a true out-of-body experience. And everything was spinning. It was really like a movie. And nothing had happened yet. Truly nothing happened. But my brain went to total meltdown. And never happened to me before that intense. I don't know if you are familiar with these situations. Did that ever happen to you? For me, it was the first time, and it was horrible. So my wife didn't really fully understand why I was so stressed. She kept telling me, we just fixed the tire, shower again, have breakfast, and go to the beach. Why are you making such a scene? Nothing's happened. It's fine. But I think it's a huge culture difference, apart from me being how I am or how I was in that moment, because In Germany, everything has to be a very certain way. You have to make it the proper way or not at all. So I thought, okay, we have to go to a specific auto shop there the rental company works with. There's a lot of paperwork. We have to pay everybody along the way. It will be really expensive. And there's no other way. And we couldn't afford that. So that's why I was freaking out. My wife, on the other hand, comes more from a culture of we will find a solution, like solution first. And for her, it was like, well, we just fixed the tire. That's it. But we don't have that solution for broken tires really in Germany. So that was a huge clash. So there was on one side my wife being really calm and saying like, we just fixed the tire, let's go. And me on the other side, really spiraling, going crazy, sweating, and my world broke down in a way. Because first time in a new country, I don't really understand the language. I don't really understand what's happening now. So real clash of cultures and different thinking. But I want to also you to be honest now and ask yourself, who are you in this situation? Are you more the calm, let's just get it, there's a solution person? Or you're a little bit more like me, freaking out? I mean, I've gone better since then because I think the biggest takeaway I learned that day specifically is most problems don't need the amount of energy you give them. There's always a way simpler solution to it. In the end, I calmed down a little and started doing something a little bit more useful and changed the spare tire. So we threw the broken tire in the trunk and drove to a shop specialized in flats, basically. I even have still pictures from us, I will put in now, waiting in front and we were smiling. I was smiling again because in the end, what was it? It didn't even took half an hour. It didn't cost more than 10 euros or dollars, whatever the conversion rate is there. And I laughed at myself so much. And there was such a huge relief. It felt like a huge weight just dropped from my chest and I could breathe again. And I really had to ask myself in that moment, okay, was that worth it? Was that a good use of my energy and my time? Probably not. And looking back, definitely not. Yeah, turns out the tire was not really the problem. My brain was. Because it blows things out of proportion so much. And it used to do that so much and so reliably that that's my go-to thing. That's now over, I don't know, 7 years ago. And I've grown since then. And I understand better how to disrupt these thinking, these spirals. And that's really to take a deep breath and ask yourself, is that really an unfixable problem or is there a solution? And if there's like the tiniest bit of solution, do that. Because spiraling and panicking and all these negative spirals, they don't bring you any closer to any solution. But that's how my brain works. Maybe that's how your brain works as well, to jump straight to disaster mode. Maybe it's not, but I think in a tiny way we all do that. And we definitely do that when we're like this and overthink stuff. But yeah, to be honest, most of the times the reality is so much simpler and there's a solution to it. if you just care to looking into it and to calm yourself down. That is the biggest takeaway I can tell you from these situations, is to take a deep breath and calm yourself down, calm your body down, calm your mind down, and you will see there's a simple solution to it. So, overthinkers, we are figuring this out together, one freak out at a time. And we will see together that the reality is way simpler than we sometimes make it out to be. There's always a simple solution, and if there's not, we have to rely more on our calm friends around us. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you like this, maybe leave a like there, maybe leave a subscription. It really means a lot to me that you're here with me today. Have a wonderful day and see you next week. Take care.